Hello, anybody, and thanks for tuning in to Monday Morning Handicapping. This is Handicapping Angles, and this is an angle that I came across the last race at Golden Gate Field on June 1st, 2024. This angle is just something that made sense after I saw who won the race, and something that I will think about going forwards, and I hope that you will too. So again, eighth race at Golden Gate Field, going a distance of 1 mile. It's a maiden special weight, so these horses are not eligible to be purchased at this race at this time for 3 years old. We're going to look at who I picked first and why, and then we'll look at the winner, and that's where the angle that I thought about comes into play. So without further ado, let's dive right in, take a look. It's a maiden race, so obviously no one's won yet. And after looking up and down the 9-horse field for a while, so I stumbled upon this 8-horse who was one of the most consistent runners who has shown an ability to pass runners in the stretch. So as you can see, he starts off fifth, about last, passes a couple runners in his last race. Before that, last, passed 4 runners, last, or second to last, passed 3 runners, and last, passed 5 runners. So this horse seems to have a little bit of ability, a little bit of try late in the game. Also, he's been running sprint races, 3/4 of a mile, and now he's going a 2-turn 1 mile or a route race for the first time. And I just thought with his closing style and his willingness to pass horses, maybe he's sort of a sleeper that could wake up going a longer distance, which would ensure a slower pace and maybe could save a little energy late and pass some other horses. He was 9-2 on the morning line. I wasn't thrilled about the price. I was hoping to get at least that. Anyways, no spoiler alert anymore, but he did not end up winning. And looking back, if you look up here, this G indicates that he's gelded, so he's been castrated, and some call that the ultimate equipment change, and that happened on April 5th. And between his second to last race and last race, he was gelded. Did he make a market improvement since being gelded? Not really. That's something that did not catch my eye, was that he was gelded. The trainer's probably trying to get him into race shape, get him more focused into racing. He really didn't improve off of that. Still passed a couple horses, but probably not the improvement. Didn't meet his top buyer career-wise. So looking back, maybe that is something I should have caught. I didn't catch the gelding aspect the first time around. But let's take a look at who eventually won and how we can use the angle moving forwards. So the angle here that I kind of want to focus on is what I'm calling sort of the what did they think about this horse when they bought him sort of angle. I know it's a little bit wordy, but number 4, Kamina Cruiser, was purchased for $55,000. The stud fee, so the price to breed to this horse's father, is $10,000, and typically if the purchase price is double or triple the stud fee, by rule of thumb, that's a pretty good indicator that they thought well enough of the horse to pay that much for the horse. So they paid 5.5 times the stud fee, which says something. It doesn't always guarantee a great horse, but good confirmation. The horse looked good pedigree. But was bred in Kentucky, where some of the best horses come out of. And if we look at this horse's run line since being purchased for $55,000 back in May of 2023, they debuted this horse 4 months after buying it at Del Mar, which is a premier racetrack on western United States, really, for a claiming tag of $80,000. So they bought it for $55,000. You could have bought it for $80,000. Maybe they were hoping to win, and someone buys it for probably a break-even price, considering training, feeding, housing, all that stuff. So bought it for $55,000, willing to give it up for $80,000. Maybe they thought it had a chance to win, so get a share of the purse. Did not run terribly, did not run great on debut against much better competition. Ran somewhat evenly, opened the race by 11 lengths, finished by 11 lengths. Passed some horses, I'm assuming those got tired. Look over in the notes, it was off slow, so every reason to not win the race on debut. They put this horse in the barn, ran him back about 7 months later, debuted him at Golden Gate, now for a non-claiming maiden race, at a sprint distance, just as was the debut, ran evenly, was a step slow again, and this time, this race that we're looking at now, they're running a mile, so ran evenly in a sprint. Buyer figures did improve. The Tomlinson for the distance, so the stretch out to a mile, is 3:55, and again, anything over 300 or 320 especially is pretty solid. So the breeding may indicate that it might want to go further. So that indicates all the more reason it might not hate the mile distance. Again, back to the angle, which is what did they think of the horse? Could have bought it for 80,000, brought it back to a softer competition after 7 months. Could not purchase it in its next race. Ran evenly, and they're stretching it out to a mile. And also, if you note this bold name over here, Delian League, well, that was the horse that I chose on top this race. This horse that we're looking at, the 4, only lost to that horse by 3/4 of a length after sitting in the barn for 7 months. First time back at a sprint race, only lost to my top pick by 3/4 of a length after being a step slow. So just a kind of what did they think of the horse from purchase till now. Lightly raced, only raced 2 times. They haven't given up on the horse. They're not selling it cheaply. It's not even up for sale this race. It's got a top jockey this time. So just something to think about. What did they think of the horse? Again, started for 80,000, non-claimer now. Improving buyer speed figures, trying something new, ran evenly at a shorter distance. So again, that's the what did they think of this horse sort of angle, and something I would look for, especially in maiden races where the field looks relatively weak. Look for lightly raced horses that seem to have some promise, or at least the owners weren't giving them away and seem to have some hope, some life left. If they've run 10 times, haven't won yet, maybe they're just not that good. This horse has only raced 2 times, and they're still not giving up on him. Debuted him somewhere much tougher, stretching out after running evenly in a sprint. So there's my 2 cents on this race. It makes sense in hindsight, but something for everyone to think about when they're looking at races where the horses are lightly raced, not much form, or just maiden races in general. So anyways, I hope someone got a little food for thought in this video. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.